So last class we completed the three functions. Which one? First we completed the conversion functions, then string functions and mathematical functions. So today we'll go with the aggregate functions. Understood? So aggregate functions, you have to understand some points here about aggregate functions which are very important. These aggregate functions are also known as grouping functions. Aggregate or grouping functions. Both mean same, nothing. There is not much of a difference, both mean same. Then this aggregate function, main point is it can be used only on groups. You have to use it only on groups. It will be applied only on groups. It can be used only on groups or applied only on groups. One more most important thing is it can be used only with select and having clause. This is very important now. Clause, they are called as clauses. Okay, so now see, we are going to learn this function, aggregate function. But actually, how do you use this function while querying is very important. How do you use this function while querying? Okay, so that becomes very important. Generally, this will be used in select clauses. Which one? This aggregate function will be generally used in select clauses, if not having clause. So just I'll give you an idea now. See, generally, we'll be learning how to write select. This is the most important querying, what you have to do. Select, okay. This is the next session I'll be taking you the breakup of the select query. Full breakup I'll take and I'll explain how to write the select query in a more clearer way. But just get the idea this time. So generally select queries are written like this. Select, generally you write it in one line. Don't do that. Follow this. Okay. Select from where group by having order by. A select query, this is a breakup of select query. This is the breakup of select query. Okay, so your aggregate function can be used here. Or it can be used with having clause. So this is a breakup of select query, and all these are called as clauses. These are all called as clauses. Okay, next session I'll be taking more in depth into this. Select is one clause, from is one clause, where is one clause, group by is one clause, having is one clause, order by is one clause. Okay, aggregate functions can be used only with what now? Select and having, nowhere else. So aggregate functions will be used in select query. In select query it will be used with what? Select clause and having clause. And one more thing, I will be seeing this execution style later in the next class, but for time being I'll write it. So when this query gets executed, always this is the order of execution. There is something called as order of execution. First from gets executed, then where gets executed, then group by executes, then select executes, having executes, then order by executes. This is the order of execution. Understood? When we write it, you'll understand it. Don't worry. Right now we are focusing on what? Aggregate functions. See, today I'll be teaching you how to use aggregate functions with what? Select clause. Next session I'll teach you how to use aggregate functions with having clause. This time I'll be teaching you how to use with select clause. Are you clear with this now? Okay. In fact, with the select clause, you can use aggregate function. With the select clause, you can use aggregate function, or you know very well, you can use what? Column names. Column name 1, you can use column names now, comma column name 2. Okay, or you can use what? Asterisk. These are three things what you can use with what? Select clause. These are three things what you can use with select clause. One is, till now you are not used which one? Aggregate function, but we'll start using it today. Okay, so you can use column name, or you can use star like this. Okay, so yeah, Now supposingly if you use an aggregate function here with select clause, supposingly if you use an aggregate function with select clause, that time you will not be able to use what? Column name. There are some rules now. Now we are going to learn how to use aggregate functions, that is there. But when you use an aggregate function, what is the rule now? You cannot select any other column name. You cannot select any other column name. If you use a grouping, if you use aggregate function with select clause, you cannot use what? Any other column name. Okay, so that we'll see. With an example only I'll be showing you. So this is the summary of this now. So aggregate functions can be used only here. Okay, so now see, but there is one more catch to that. You can use a column name. This part you'll not understand now, but after I give an example you'll understand. Supposingly I told you now, supposingly I use aggregate function, you cannot use what? Any other column name. Okay, but if I use group by clause, now you have to use group by clause also. That time whatever grouping name you are using now, only that column name you can use it. Only that particular column name which you are using in group by can be used here. Understood? So I am putting or here. So clearly understand, group by, I'll give some column name. So when you do group by now, that time you can use aggregate function comma that grouped column name. That grouped column name you can use. Get this point very clear. I'm repeating it, see this. When you use the aggregate function with the select clause, you cannot use what? Any other column name. That's why I put or. You cannot use any other column name. Either aggregate function you have to use, or you have to use the column names. Or you have to use what? Star. That is how it goes. Or you have to use star. Fine. But sometimes, okay, if you want to, while using aggregate function, if you want to use a group name, if you want to use a column name here, then you should use what? Group by clause, and whatever column name you are specifying here, that should be used with select clause. Only that column name, only that particular column name which you are using with group by can be used with select clause. So we'll see it with examples. There you'll start getting better idea. So this is the overview of what? Aggregate functions. So we'll learn more with examples only, and you'll start understanding this very clearly. Okay. So see, one more thing is the aggregate functions return a value. They'll go on returning values now. So what means it will return a single value. Okay, when it is applied on a group now, next point now, it is applied on what? I explained to this point now. Can be used with only what? Select and having. Explained with this point now. Next, I'm coming to this point now. It can be used only on groups. So now when you are using aggregate function, it will return a value for a group. It will return a value for a particular group. Understood? So generally, you will not have groups. So when you don't have a group, that time the entire table will be treated as one group. The entire table will be treated as one group. If you want to make subgroups, that is when you go on to use what? Group by clause. Generally the entire table will be treated as one group. Okay, generally the entire table will be treated as one group. But if you want, you can by default. But if you want, you can create subgroups by using group by clause. So I'll show you how to use group by clause. Then you'll understand how to create subgroups. So many things will go parallelly here. Okay, because you have to learn what is grouping. Group by I'll be teaching you group by, at the same time I'll be using what? Aggregate functions. All that we'll be covering. So carefully observe now how we go about this. Shall I clear all this now? So some notes is there. You can write it. Okay. And these aggregate functions I'll be covering today. Which one? Max, min, sum. All that. So fine. Aggregate functions are grouping functions. Aggregate functions can be used with only what now? Same points. Select or select and having clause. The arguments used with an aggregate function is always a column name. You will pass an argument now. It will always be what? A name of a column. When you use a aggregate function, you will be always passing the name of the column. Aggregate functions can be applied on only groups. Okay. Groups can be formed by what? Group by clause. The groups can be formed by group by clause. If there are no groups, then the entire table will be considered as one group. And when an aggregate function is used with a select clause, then this is the point I was explaining to you. No other column can be used with what? Select clause. However, if a group by clause is used, then the grouping attribute name means what? Column name can be used with select clause. Understood? Aggregate functions always return what? A single value. If there are many groups, then one value will be returned for every group. So I'll start off teaching you all this aggregate functions now. Following are the list of what? Aggregate functions: max, min, sum, average, count. These are the list of aggregate functions. Now what does the max function do? It returns the highest value in the specified column. Min value returns the lowest value. And sum will return the sum of all the values. And average will return the average value. And count will return the number of rows. So then finally note, all aggregate functions except count. All aggregate functions except count ignore what? Null values. They ignore. Okay. But so that time if you want to substitute null with a value, then use NVL function. Understood? So these many points you have to understand about what now? These are the points about aggregate function. Theoretically we have covered, but you want to have clarity on this means nothing but examples only. Okay, so now see we have to do querying now. More queries you write, you'll start understanding all this now. But to write query, where will you write query now? We still don't have data now to execute all this now. Yes or no? Do you have data to execute all this? We don't have data. Are there any tables, ready tables sitting with data? No. So that is why this time to study now means even Oracle itself, Oracle by themselves what they are doing, for us to study everything, they are giving you some tables. Default tables, it's there inside the Oracle. When you install it, you'll get it. So today we'll use the built-in tables of Oracle, okay, and then we'll execute all these queries. So after you learn writing queries on those tables, then we'll come back and write the same queries on which table? Our employee project. Understood? So practice this properly now, because these queries will be written finally on your employee project. So what I'll do, so we want ready data now. So to get the ready data, see what I'll do. Go to Explorer. I'm just letting that, see, go to Explorer. In C drive, when you install Oracle, what is the folder you get? What is the folder name you get when you install Oracle? Oracle exe. So select that, okay, and there you go for searching. Search. What is that you'll search? Scott.sql. Anyway, it will come up. As soon as you type SCOTT, that's the name of a .sql file. It's the name of what? SQL file. So what you do, this file, okay, open file location. See, it is somewhere in that location. Take this file. Take this file. Then today what you do, you create one more new folder. What folder? I already created it. Today is the 10th day now. We are working with what? Aggregate functions. Okay. Create this folder. Okay. Just what I will do, I will delete it. Okay, I had already pasted it. So fine, say this. Paste that SQL file here. Are you understanding now? Or I will do one thing. See this. Create this folder. Today's topic, man, what is it? Aggregate functions. In this folder, copy paste that scott.sql file. You know how I got it now? Go to Oracle exe folder and there you type scott.sql, it will search that file. Whatever I got now, I am copying and pasting it into which one? So many .sql files are there. And you know it's a script file now. Obviously end of the day what it contains? Script. So open it. Double click, it will open up in Notepad. This is the file. Okay, so what you do, so many things you will not understand. And you are very good in this. What you don't understand, delete. Simply I'm joking. Okay, so just delete all this. See, till connect Scott Tiger, whatever you see here, till there, connect Scott Tiger or something is there na, just delete it till there. So this is the script now. Understood? This is the script. So then one more thing is, see, there are many tables here. There's one table called as department. There's one table called as what? Employee, EMP. There are all tables, and I know that, okay, employee is a child table of, understood now? Employee is a child table of what? Department, I know it. So you know, see first which table is getting dropped here? Department. You know, while dropping first which table should be dropped? Child. So that is why one small change. Cut this and put it onto the top. So only two changes you have to do here, nothing else. What? Up till that delete, and after deleting that content, whatever we didn't understand, just delete it and just put department onto the, employee onto the top. That's it. Only two changes you do. And one more thing is, in the last, if you do it also fine, don't do it also fine. Go down, just delete these things. Set term on, last it is. When you scroll down, you'll find it. So just delete these two things also. That's it. Three things. One is what? Deleting the unwanted content. On the top also you'll have, on the bottom also you'll have. And after that, next, put department table on the, second. Means put employee table in the first. That's it. Put employee table in the first. So that's it. Your Scott.sql is ready. You can run the script. Okay, when you run the script, what will happen? All these tables will be created, data will be inserted. So readily the data will be populated now. So we'll write the queries on, all the queries now we'll write on these tables. We'll get ready data. Fine. So I'll close this. But fine, see this. Now, this is the file. Anyway, I'm going to cover these two topics today. These are two txt files I'll be covering. Okay, means they contain what? Queries now. Okay, fine. This is the script. You have to run the script now. Where will you run the script now? Yes, you have to run it in what? Some schema. Okay, I have to run the script in a schema for all the tables to be created. But today what I'll do, I'll open a new schema, or I'll create a new schema so that this will be kept separate. Understood? This will be kept separate. So what I'll do, you know how to create a schema now? Yes, how will you go? Go to HTTP localhost, Apex. Because we are just organizing everything neatly. Go to Apex. In Apex, what you do, you have to log into what? System. Means you have to get into the DB, administrator. You have to log in as administrator. System, what is this password? Cluster. So you are logging in as administrator now. Once you log in as administrator, from the administrator you can create what? Schemas. So done. So you go to administration now. In administration, what do you do? Database users, create user. Okay. So username, what is the username you want to give? You can give any name, but I'll give it as Scott, so that it will be quite meaningful now. Scott schema contains the script of Scott.sql, just convention. So the name of the schema is Scott. Password, what you want to give? Same we can give, SCOTT, but I'll give it as what? Tiger. Any password you want to give? Save Tiger. One project we are taking up. Simply I'm joking. So anyway, see the password you can give it as Tiger. Anything you can give. But I am giving the password as Scott and Tiger. You also follow it. Because everybody will be logging in as Tiger only now. Here in cluster. Understood? So Scott and Tiger. And what is the status? Unlocked. Okay. It is unlocked. Then select this. DBA. Then select all. Check all. So that's it. Just create the schema, man. You know how to do it. Just I give the password as what? Username as Scott and password as Tiger. Create. So it will get created. See here, Scott has been created. So remember, the username for Scott means one schema as we have created with the name Scott. Case insensitive, no problem. Password is what? Tiger. This is username and this is password. Understood? You can give anything. Yes. So now it has got created. Now see, this is the Scott schema. This is the Scott schema. What I'll do now, I'll log out. I have to log in now. So I'll log out and I'll log in as what? Scott. Yes. SCOTTTIGER. Okay, so we are logged in as what now? Scott. I mean, we are logged into the Scott schema. In the Scott schema, you can go and check, browse, tables. Are there any tables right now? It's a new schema what I have created. So there are no tables. So I'll run the script now. Once I run the script, what will happen? That tables and all will be created. So to create the schema now, where I should go? Sorry, to run the script, what I should do? To run the script, Windows, go to the DOS prompt. CMD, yes, SQL plus, yes, what is the username? Scott. What is the password? Tiger. So we are connected now. So I'll run that script. Where is the script right now? /Scott.SQL. Copy it. Okay. So I'll run the script. See this. How do you run? @ double quote, paste, double quote, enter. First time some error you'll get because drop table will create errors. Second time onwards, perfectly it will execute. Understood? Second time onwards, perfectly it will execute. If you get error, it is only one error. Which one? Put employee on the top, department in the second line. That's the only error. Understood? So second time onwards, it will go on executing properly. If you get an error, if you follow all that what I told in the beginning, you will not get it. If at all you get an error in running the script, it will be what? Be careful with that. It will be only about putting employee on the before or in the first, because it will be where? It will be somewhere here. It will be somewhere here, just approximately I am telling you now. Understood? Put it on the top, that's it. Yeah, tables are ready, schema is ready. Now all our aggregate functions will work upon this. Now let's come to the schema. Refresh, you can see all the tables now. Earlier it was not there. Now see, employee table, EMP table, they are given the name as what? EMP. And these are the many columns. What are the different columns they are having on this table? Employee number, e-name, job, manager, hire date, salary, commission, department number. So this is the column name. In bonus, these are the 4 columns. Department, these are the 4 columns. Salary, these are the 4 columns. Apart from that, if you want to see the data, see, I'll click on EMP and I'll click on data. So this is the different data which is present in what? EMP table. How many records are there? Totally 14 records are there. 14 records. So data is here now. So we'll work upon this. Okay. Then in DPT there are 4 records. Department table there are 4 rows or 4 records. In bonus there is no data. And in sal grade, refresh, data, yes, there are 5 rows. So I'll just explain you this. First you understand these tables properly, only then you can write the queries. Now in these tables, see, department and employee are related. Understand? Department table and employee table are related. Department table and employee table are related. Understood? How they are related? One department has many employees. This is how they are related. Means primary key will be in what? Department table. Foreign key will be in employee table. One DPT has many employee. The name of the table. See the table name? One DPT has many employee. That's how they are related. And that's why in department, see, in department, this is the department number now. That is the primary key. This primary key is used where? Where it will be used? Employee table, EMP. Go and check. See, it is used here in the last. Can you see that? So this is, see, this is the department. The department ID has been used in the last department number as what? Foreign key. Okay, so these two. Okay, so are you clear? This department number has been used as a foreign key in EMP table, employee table. See there, here. Yeah, and now these two tables. Which two tables? Bonus doesn't contain any data. Salary rate contains some data. What data? Some 5 rows, but they are not related at all. So these two tables are not at all related. So the four tables you know now. Bonus, department, EMP, salary rate. Only these two are related. So means the summary of this is what? You can have many tables in your project. It's not that all should be related. Some might be related, some might not be related. They will be related also, they will not be related also. So to study purpose only, for study purpose only, they are giving you these 4 tables. Understood? But in our projects, all the tables are getting related. But here, 2 are related, 2 are unrelated. So in your project, anything can happen. They might be related, they might not be related. So understand now. So when there are multiple tables like this, how do you write queries is becoming very important. I keep telling you, how do you do CRUD operations with multiple tables, Understood? And Oracle only has given you all these tables for what? Study purpose now. For studying only they have given it this. So fine, that is one thing. Next, if you want to see the query, you can see it, no issues. Scott.sql, you can go, see the same thing what you are seeing there. Department table has been created with department number. Number is the data type. They are adding the constraint here itself. Don't worry. But what is the name of the constraint? PK underscore department. Okay, these are the other 2 columns. D name and location. Yes or no? See there. Department no. Department number, department name, location. So go through these tables. Until and unless you understand these tables, you cannot write any queries now. Understood? Because we are going to write extensively queries on these tables only now. Okay. So then this is done. So once this is done, next employee table has been created. These are the different what? Columns. Primary key is there. Which one? PK underscore EMP. Now you can see department number again has been used, but it is treated as what? Foreign key, and it references department table. Done. So then next, here you can see one data type called as what? Date. Higher date is there, so it will be of type date. Rest all are okay, number and all that, you know that. Okay, then they are inserting values into what? Which table? EMP table. Salary. They are creating the bonus table. Since they are not related, you can drop them in any order. Bonus and salary rate can be dropped in what? Any order. So that's why I only changed the order of employee and department. These 2 they can be in any order. They are not related only. And they are committing it. Means once you run the script, all this data you will get now. Are you clear with all this now? So be careful. First study 5-10 minutes these tables. Okay. Then next, still we'll study. See this. There are 4 departments. Let's start studying now. There are 4 departments. What are the 4 departments? Accounting, research, sales, operations. Okay. So these are the 4 departments. And this department is there in New York. This department, research department, is there in Dallas. Sales is there in Chicago. And operations is there in which state? Place, location? Boston. So these are the 4 departments and their corresponding locations. Are you clear with this? Understood? Better is you write down all the 4 tables in your book, so that while you write queries now you can refer to it very easily. Understood? So these are the 4 rows here in this particular table. Okay, fine. Now let's come to employee. Carefully see. In the employee, look at the columns. There is employee number. What is employee number? They are giving some number, forget it. Some 736, it's not in order. 7369749, some employee number they are given. These are the employee names. Smith, Allen, Ward, Jones, Martin. Some employee names are there. Their jobs. Okay. Smith is a clerk, Allen is a salesman, Ward is a salesman. Fine. They are having their manager. For manager name, what they are using? Employee number they are using. Understood? For manager they are using. They are not giving any name here. The manager of clerk is what? 7902. Now who is 7902? Yeah, it is Ford. So Ford is the manager of whom? Smith. Like that. 7902 is the manager, no? So you scroll down here, you will find out. Find means 7902 means Ford is the manager for Smith. Okay, fine. He is the manager, and he was hired on which date? Some date, higher date it is. So fine, higher date. Then salary. This is Smith's salary, and he is not getting any commission, and he is belonging to the department number 20. This is how it has been organized. So in one department there are many types of job. There are first 4 departments. Understand this, sir. There are 4 departments. Which are the 4 departments? You should know it now. All by heart you should know now, because you're going to write queries on this. So when you enter a company, first you should study the tables. Only then you can write your queries. The 4 departments are accounting, research, sales, operation. Understood? So now he is in 20th department, no? Which department? 20. So in the research department, his job is what? Clerk. In the research department, his job is clerk. Understood? See, generally people have one bad problem when learning database. Now what they do? They hurry up in writing queries. Don't write queries first. First see how the tables are related, what is the data there. First study all this properly. It might take some 10 minutes time. But after 10 minutes you can write any query very easily now. Understood? But if you try to hurry up now, for every query you will waste 10 minutes. That will be the problem. So that's why I am teaching you how to study the tables. Department number 10, 20, 30, 40, accounting, then what? Research, sales, operations. Like that, you write down all. This is there in New York. Department. This is there in Dallas. This is there in Chicago. And the last one is there in Boston. Fine now? So now, yes, see the employee. He is a clerk in department number 20, means research department. Next, Alan is a salesman in 30, means sales department. He is a salesman in sales department. Next, Ward is also a salesman in sales department. Jones is a manager in research department. Like that it goes. Study tables properly. You got the idea now? So this is how they are related. One department is having many type of jobs. Understood? And these people are having their own job now, like this. Okay. So many employees are there. They have their own jobs and they belong to one department. Many employees are there and they are having their own jobs and they are working for one department like this. So once this is done, okay, see today we will not work with all the 4 tables. Next class I will be teaching you how to work with all the 4. Today I will show you only how to work with one table, which is EMP. That's employee table. So I will write all the aggregate functions on what? This table. I'll write all the aggregate functions on this particular table. Now which table? EMP table. Are you clear with this? Okay, let that remain. So to write the queries, what will you do now? You can open what? Your editor you can open here and start typing. Again, generally people hurry up in writing queries. I'll just show you. See, generally find the highest salary means this is how you write, see, aggregate functions. This is the topic. I'm going to show you how to use all the 5 aggregate functions now. So I'll get the highest salary. How do you write now? Select max salary from EMP. This query I've shown you long back. Understood? But we are concentrating on that now. So right now we are using aggregate function with which clause now? Select clause now. Yes or no? So it is giving you what? The highest salary now. Okay. So if you want, you can refer to this document also. We are seeing just now. We are going with what? Returns the highest value in the specified column. It's going to give the highest value in the specified column. Fine. Let's come back. So max is the function, built-in function it is. It's given to you by Oracle. Okay. And what is the argument you are passing? Column name. Sal is okay, but it's a column name. From which table? Employee table, EMP table. So it will give you the highest salary. Okay, what is the highest salary? 5,000. If you want, you can go and check now. In the object, this way you can go and check. Highest salary is what here? Check. Go through the salary column. Highest salary is what? 5,000, and it is for king. Understood? So that's the highest salary. It's giving you what? Among all the 14 records, 5,000 is the highest. So we are going with the first one now. Which one? Max function. First I will be teaching you max function. See, queries always have to be learnt in this style. Generally you always write query, 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 and you'll see output. Actually, query should not be written like that. Given a condition, you should not write the query. That is very crucial now. I'll give one condition. Based on that, you should not write the query. Generally, how do you write aggregate functions? Or whatever you queries you are till now, how you are written? Simply, some query will by heart, you'll execute it and you'll say I got output. But always queries should be built on requirement. So that is what I'll be teaching you. From this class, it will continue for the next few days now. I'll give a requirement. For that requirement, you should start writing what? Queries now. Learn like this. It will become more interesting also and easy also in our database. Initially, little you might struggle. Reason is this is you're learning it in a different style now. Understood? Initially you might find it tough, but later on it will be very, very, very helpful for you also, and it will be easy also. Check this out now. So this is a question now. I got a question. In the interview they ask you this only. I'm giving you all the questions. What? Retrieve the highest salary, they'll tell. So that time what will you do? Max salary from EMP. That is fine. Everybody knows. Next. Now they'll ask, retrieve the highest salary for job type clerk. So now you have to give condition. So this you know. Select max salary from EMP will do what? Retrieves the highest salary. Not an issue. But now I'm telling what? Where job is equal to clerk. So this will give me the highest salary of what? So max salary of the clerk would be what? Means there are so many clerks. It is giving the highest salary of some clerk. But let's see if you want. You can go and see here. How many clerks are there? What is the answer you got here when you executed the query? 1,300 is the highest salary of a clerk. Okay. So let's see how many clerks are there. Check. Smith is on clerk. His salary is 800. Then Adams is on clerk. His salary is 1,100. James is on clerk. His salary is 950. Miller is on clerk. His salary is 1,300. Like that, refer. So the highest salary is of the clerk is what? 1,300, which you got it now. But how did I write the query? Where job is equal to clerk. So this is an art now, which I'll be covering in the next session in depth. Okay, just concentrate on aggregate functions, learn this. Okay, next. See this. I'll show you how to use, see, when you're using a max, I just say, I'm saying max salary. I'll just try some other column name like, what is our column name here? E name. Just see this. Run, but it will not execute. Means my intention was find out the name of the clerk who is getting the highest salary. That was my intention. Find out the name of the clerk who is getting the highest salary. That was my intention. But if you write the query like this, it will go wrong. Why? Syntax error it is. Because when you are using an aggregate function, you cannot use what? Any other column name. You got the error now. So you can't use any other column name. It gives you error. Are you clear with this? I'll show you how to find the highest salary of the clerk. Understood? But this is the error you get. You cannot use a column name along with select clause when you are using aggregate function. Either aggregate function you have to use or you have to use column names. But if at all you want to use a column name, let's see how you'll use it. Understood? So now see, here, what was this query doing? The first query? It was retrieving the highest salary. Okay, but look, it was treating the entire table as one group now. It was treating the entire table as one group. If you want, you can group now. How will you group? See this. Group by job. Group by is on clause, which we can use. Okay, along with select clause, select from, I just wrote now, There are 6 clauses which can be used with what? Select query. There are 6 clauses which can be used with select query. Which are they? Select, from, where, group by, having, order by. We just now wrote it. So I've just started using 3 of it. All 6 also I'll use later. Understood? So now see, select max salary from EMP group by job. You can do this. So it is grouping by job now and giving the highest in every job. It is grouping. So how did it group? See, it will do grouping like this. It will take job. All clerk, it will make it as one group. All salesman, it will make it as one group. Then all manager, it will make it as one group. All analyst, it will make it as one group. And in every group, it is giving you the highest salary. Means highest in clerk, highest of salesman, highest of manager. Because I grouped. If I don't group, what will happen? The entire table will be treated as one group. Is what I am telling. Understood? Clear? Fine. Next. So now, see, display the highest salary in every, I told you. See, the query, in fact, I could have executed this query and shown you what is, in this way I can show you what. See, when you are using what? When you are using aggregate function, okay, the only column name what you can use is what? The group by attribute name. I told you now. What did I tell you? When you use aggregate function, understood? If at all you cannot use any column name, I just showed you. But if at all you want to use a column name, that should be what? The group by attribute name. It's a group by attribute name. But this attribute is nothing but what? Column name only. That's a terminology. Attribute means column here. That's it. And when you read books, they'll tell, yeah, if at all you are using a aggregate function, you cannot select any other column name. But if you want to select a column name, then it should be the grouping attribute name, they'll say. Grouping attribute name. Grouping attribute name is nothing but the column name. Done? So I can use it. You cannot select any other column now. That's it. Either a group select job you can do and this one. So that's how it executes, and you got the output also. What is the output you got? It grouped by which one? Job, and it gave the highest salary. Fine. So while learning, you learn like this. That's what I'm telling. Don't learn like this. While learn, you learn fine. But actually the query is for what now? Why did you write that query? For situation or for a particular scenario? No. Study the scenario. For that scenario, you'll write the query like this. From both angles you study. How you write the query also. And given a scenario, how to write the query also. Understood? So see this. Yeah, this was now select the highest salary in every job type. Yes or no? Select the highest salary in every job type. I think I'll do one thing. I'll go on giving numbers here. Question query 1, query 2, query 3. Like this you can give. Then query 4. It will not be confusing otherwise. Understood? So select the highest salary in every job type. So run. So what happens? It's giving you highest salary in every job type. Fine. Now see the query. I want to select the name and salary of an employee who is getting the highest salary. I want what now? Name also, salary also. Means you have to select 2 columns. No. What do you have to select? Name and salary. But the problem is when you use the aggregate function, what you can't use? You cannot select any other column name. So that is when you start writing subqueries like this. They are called as subqueries or nested queries. Understood? You start writing nested queries. So see what you have done here. Look at the question number 5. Select name and salary of the employee who is getting the highest salary. So first what I will do? Select max salary from EMP. It will give me what? The highest salary. That value I will be giving it to what? Select ename salary from EMP where sal is equal to 5000. That they are called as nested queries or inner queries. So now what it will do? What is the question? Select name and salary of the employee who is getting the highest salary. So I have to use aggregate function. I have to select multiple columns. But this is the way you write it. Understood now? So fine, next. Yeah. So you wanted the clerk's highest salary now? See now I want the name and salary of the employee who is getting the highest salary and whose job is as what? Clerk. Fine, you can do it. See this. Select max salary from EMP where job is equal to clerk. Yes or no? Where job is equal to clerk. So what happens? You will get a value now. It will select, it will get the highest salary of which clerk, highest salary. But you want the name now. So give that value to what? E-name and salary. Are you clear this? Okay. So then next, retrieve name, job and salary of employees for getting the highest salary in every job type. What is the query now? You have to write that retrieve the name, job and salary. Okay. Who are getting the highest, means there are so many types of job now. Salesman is there, then you got clerk is there. In every job type, okay, in every job type, you want the name of the person who is getting the highest salary. Yes, we can do it. See this. Now look at the difference between both the queries. So here, fine. First see the result. It's giving you in salesman, Alan is getting the highest salary. In the manager department, in manager job, Jones is getting the highest salary, and this is his salary. Okay. And in analyst, as an analyst, Scott gets the highest salary of so and so. This is the query what you wrote. So retrieving name, job and salary of all employees are getting the highest salary in what? Every job type. Now see the difference between these two queries. What was this query? Query 6 and 7. What is the difference between the 6th query and 7th query? Both are finding name and this one. But there is some small catches here. When you use equals, you have to give single value. But if I want to give multiple values, what will I use? In. This basics I had covered. Still I will cover, no problem. Understood? So in is a set operator, it is called. So set operator is used for giving what? Set of values, means multiple values. Set operator is used for giving, I will be covering operators next. There you will understand. Set operator is used for giving what? Set of values or multiple values. So see here, I wanted to select multiple columns with what? Aggregate function. This is the way you have to write. When you want to select multiple columns with aggregate functions, you will be writing subqueries or nested queries like this. Fine, you will write. But when you write subqueries, if you use equals, it will give you what? Single value. If you use in, it will be using multiple values. That's it. You will be providing multiple values. Understood? So like this. Are you clear with that now? You have any questions, sir? When you write nested queries or subqueries, you have to give a value. Why you'll be, first of all, why you'll be writing nested queries? Because you want to select column names along with aggregate function. So this is one of the scenario. There are many reasons why you write subquery. One of the reason why you write a subquery, I am taking it now, is you want to select multiple columns with a aggregate function. So that's why what you'll do. So multiple column names, and you will use aggregate function as a subquery here. Okay. So then once it is selected, but here it will give a single value. Here I can give multiple values. Fine. That's the difference. Next. So that is about max. Now let's go with what? Minimum salary. Once you understood max, same things will work for what? Minimum also now. Once again. First question, second question, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth. Retrieve the lowest salary. Yes. So yes. Then yeah, see this. Retrieve the lowest salary. No, it will give the lowest salary of what? It will take the entire, because I didn't do grouping, keeping anything. What it will do? It will take the entire table as one group. It will take the entire table as one group and gives you the lowest salary. Okay. Now again the same story. Select name and salary of the employee who is getting the lowest salary. Is find the clerk who is getting the lowest salary. Second, I'll just phrase it properly. Select the name and salary of the clerk who is getting lowest salary. Here also is you can phrase it, that's it. It's all about phrasing, man. You should understand the questions. Here it is, highest salary. That's it. Select name and salary of the clerk who is getting the highest salary. Here what is, if you have written it, write one more time, that's it. You don't scratch it out and all. Understood? So select name and salary of the clerk who is getting the highest salary. One more way to phrase it, that's it. Okay. So retrieve name and salary of the employees who are getting the highest salary in every job type or lowest salary over. Or select name and salary of the clerk who is getting lowest salary. Fine, next. Now query, that's about which one now? Minimum. We saw the min function. Two functions over now. Which is the next function will go now? Sum function. 5 or 6 aggregate functions are covering that. Okay. So now see, query to find the total salary of all employees. So I'm again using which function? Aggregate function by name, sum. So it will give the total of all the salary. See this. The total salary of everybody is what? 29,025 rupees. Sit and count if you want. All the salaries you sum up. Understood? It will give you what? 29,025, same amount. Then, now here, query to find the total salary of all clerks. Okay, I am writing the query to find the total salary of what? All clerks. Fine. See, if I select sum of salary as what? See, just observe here, when I said sum of salary, I am executing the 10th query again. Okay, when I run this, it's giving me the sum of salary. But till now you saw, what is the name it is giving here? Sum sal, like that, some odd name it gives. Sometimes you don't want to see such kind of names in what? Result. So you can give a column name in the result. In the result you can give, see this is a column actually. In the results if you want you can give a column name. And we can do that by using a concept called as alias. Aliasing it is called. Understood? So you can do it. So how do you do it is, see this. I am using what? As total salary of clerks. This time see the same thing we are executing, but with an alias. What is it displaying now? Total salary of clerks. More meaningful. So if you want you can use alias. Anyway, next subject is alias. I will cover it there. Just I have started teaching you alias. Without the alias also it works. See this. I am just copying pasting the query. See this. What I will do. Select sum of salary. It is going to give me the list of what? Sorry, it's going to give me the total of clerk salary. Find the total salary of all the clerks. So it will give me the same result. But look at the column name, what it will be? Sum sal. So if you want to avoid such kind of odd names, what we do? Alias we use. That's it. All you have to do is what? Just write as. That's it. As and what? Whatever name you want to give. That's it. As total salary of clerks. Like that also you can give. Are you clear? This is with alias. Same query. This is what? Without alias. Understood now? Understood now what is aliasing? So there is hardly any difference. Here I have given this alias. See this result again I show you with alias. This is without alias. What you are seeing now? Means this query. Which query? This query is getting executed like this. But that query will execute like what now? See? As. Like this. Fine. Now fine. Next we'll go to what? Sum is over. We'll go to which one now? Next function? Average. 13th query. Query to find the average salary. Fine. You want to find the average salary. Very simple. I'll use which function? Average function. Fine. Then next. You want to find the average salary of clerk. You know how to do it. Understood? Again I am using alias. See there. Select average salary as what? Average salary of clerk for like that. If you don't use it, will use some junk name. That's why you can use some aliasing. Fine, clear? This is 14. This will be 15. So query to find the average salary over. Query to find the average salary of the clerk over. Okay, so that is how average works, average salary. Sorry, which one? Average aggregate functions. Next, some more examples for count now. Next, say I want to find out how many employees are getting salary. Query for finding out how many employees are getting salary. So now which function I'll use? I have to count now. So count will actually start finding what? Counting what? Number of rows. So you written it down. Carefully see this. Minimum returns the lowest value. Sum returns the sum of values. And average returns what? Average value. Count returns what? Number of rows. Understood? So see this. So select count means how many people are getting salary. Now one more. Query to find out total number of employees. Okay. So count ename from EMP. I am selecting what? Which is argument I am passing? Employee name. I am finding out how many employees are there. Clear? Now see here. Now you might have one. See this. There is a big difference between star and which one? Why did I pass ename? I can use star also. Now let's see. When you use star, what happens? Star also will give the same result. What it will give? 14 only. Both are counting number of rows. But star will include what? Null values. Supposingly some column is there, no, with null value, what it will do? It will count that also. So be careful when you are using count. Understood? Here, which one? Ename is not having null. But by chance ename was null, it would have given it was as what? Supposedly there are two nulls, it would have given it as 16. So be careful while counting, because it will count null values also. Understood? Fine. Next. See now, here all the 14 people are getting what? Salary. And these are the total number of employees. Count star means what it will do? See, there's a difference between, even though the output is same, there's a difference in the query. Count star will give you what? Total number of rows. Count ename is will give you how many enames are there without null. Understood? I think it will take null also, I think. Check this out. This I have one doubt. Just check this out. It's very simple. Okay, fine. Means just I'm trying to say count is going to consider null also. Okay. I think no, I told wrong actually. 1 second, wait. See, we'll select one more extra query I am writing now. The query is to find out how many are getting only commission. Query to find out. Query to find how many employees are getting commission. Yeah, now you'll understand, see that, null and all. See, there are few people who are getting commission, not all, no? So this time if I say count star, what will happen? Your intention is to count number of people who are getting commission. But what will happen? It will tell 14. But actually you have to pass what? Count of, what you have to pass? Commission name, column name you have to pass. So now it will give you how many people are getting. Yes or no? Count star means, always remember, star will include nulls. So be careful while counting. Star means it will include the null values and count. Understood? So then anyway, count commission from means it will count only who are getting commission now. 4 people are getting salary, everybody is getting. Look at the table. Everybody is getting the salary here. Some people are not getting commission. So I found out how many people are getting commission. So that's how you can use which one? Count aggregate function. Now retrieve number of working employees working in each department. Retrieve number of employees working in each department. Okay. So select here. I am grouping. Whenever you say each or something like they'll tell now, immediately understand you have to do grouping. each, or in particular type. These words will come out in a query for every group or a particular for a type, particular group or type or each means immediately what you should do? Start grouping. Understood? So what is that I am grouping with? Because you wanted the number of employees working in each department. So I started grouping with what? Group by department number. Okay. So now department number count star. I am telling now. So what it will do now? So in the department number 30, there are 6 employees. In the department number 20, there are 5 employees. In the department number 10, there are 3 employees. Means in the 40th department, there are no employees. Which is the 40th department? Operations. There are no employees in that department number 40. See here, how the grouping has been done. All the groups have been taken. It has done the grouping. Okay, after grouping it, it is applying the aggregate function. And now, in the select clause, I can use what? Both the group by attribute name plus aggregate function, but no other column name. If at all you want to use, you know you have to write subqueries now. If at all you want to use any other column name, you have to use what? Subqueries and all that trick. Understood? Fine. Now retrieve number of employees working in each job type. That is for every department. This answer what you saw is, this result is the for what? See, look at the difference between the queries now. The previous query what we executed for was what? In every department, how many employees are there? But this is the query for what now? Particular job, because see, one department is having many job. So now for every job, now that also you understand. Clearly see that this one now. Clerk is on job. Okay, it is there in which department? Department number 20. Look, there is one more clerk. Is there in what? Department number 30. So means in research also you have clerk, job, and in sales also you have clerk job. Means in every department you are having what? Clerk. Like that. Understood? So fine, that's the thing now. So but my query is what? Find, retrieve the number of employees working in each job type. How many job types are there? Department is 4, but how many job types are there? So I'll group by job. Once you group by job, what will happen? So it is grouped. These are the different types of job. What are the different types of job? Clerk, salesman. Understood? Clerk, salesman, president, manager. These are the different type of jobs you have got. So once you have got the different type of jobs, understood? It is grouping it and counting it. Yeah? Fine. Now query to find out number of managers. How many managers are there? That you want to find out now. Understood? So again, simple. Count job as, I am counting which one? Job column as number of managers where job is equal to manager. Right? Queries, you will understand. Slowly you will start getting the grip now. Now, some more aggregate functions here. It's not that you have to use only one aggregate function. You can use what? 2 aggregate functions also. You can use 2 aggregate functions also in your queries. See this? Min salary and max salary. Both you can use. But you cannot use another column name. That be clear. I can use 2 aggregate functions or 3 aggregate functions, but I cannot use another column name. These rules you follow. Writing queries become easier. 1 second. 20, 21, no? Number of managers, 22. 23, 24. Once again, I'll finish naming it. 26. Okay, fine. We can use, as I said, we can use 2 aggregate functions in a single query. Let's look at the query now. We are finding what? Minimum and maximum salary. Fine, works. See this. Retrieve the highest and lowest salary. And this is with alias I am showing you, just because here it's displaying you as what? Min and max. If you want, you can use alias also. It will display as what? Lowest salary, highest salary. Fine. Next, retrieve the highest and lowest salary in every department. You understood the requirement? In every department. Every means what? Group. in each, every, whenever you get it now, that question, be careful with that question, each group, every group, almost all similar words only, but you have to understand. So you have to group now. So you have to group by what? Department. You are finding the highest and lowest salary in every department. Similarly, you can find the highest and lowest salary in what? Every job type. Find the highest and lowest salary in every, that is for department, highest and lowest. This is for particular. See, means you understand what is department. There are 4 departments. In every department, what is the highest salary? Now job type means there are 6 types of job. Department 4, but job types are 6. So you are finding it now. There are 6 type of job. Notice, no 5 I think. Sorry, 5 types of job are there. Okay, clerk, salesman, president, manager, analyst, and you are getting what? The highest and lowest salary of it. Next, you can find average and sum of salary. You want to find out the total salary also as well as average salary also. So it is giving you what? Average salary and total salary. Okay, with alias also you can use, because it's not clear what we can do. What is it displaying? Add sal, something like that. You can go with alias name and execute it, give you some name like this, average underscore sal or something like that. Clear? Next, find the average and total salary of every department. You can group by what now? Department. Fine. As simple as this. So you'll start understanding this. So we can use to what? Aggregate functions in a select clause also, but no other column name. If at all you want to use a column name, it should be what? See, I am using 2 aggregate functions here. I cannot use any other column name, but if at all I want to use, it should be the grouped by column name. Done? Fine. Now see, this one very tricky query, means this is an introduction to what now? 1 second, 27 over 28, 29. Okay. See this now, look at the query, a very tricky query this. Find all the type of jobs whose total salary is greater than 1500 in department number 20. So like this, queries will get bit complicated. Okay. Slowly I will be teaching in the next class how to write these queries. But look at the query, how it has been written. My intention of introducing this query, big query, is how to use aggregate functions with having clause. Just execute and come. Next class we'll be going deeper into this. We saw how to use aggregate functions with what? Select. If at all you want, you can use aggregate functions with having also. Only these 2 places, no other place. Okay. So then if you are going to use this, fine. But see, I'm using all the 6 clauses here. What? Select, from, where, group by, having, order. What is the order of execution? First is what? From. First this will execute. Next class I will be teaching it. Second, which will execute? From. Second, where clause. Third, group by clause will execute. Fourth, select clause will execute. Fifth, having will execute. Sixth, order by will execute. Understood? Means, say, you are writing a query now, you are querying. Among all the tables, first it should work on which table? Correct? Now that is why from clause executes first. Then where condition will be applied. Means in the table you don't want to select all the rows now. First you are selecting the table. In the table you are selecting next what? The rows. So that's why I am giving a condition. Third, after selecting it, it will do grouping. Then what it will do? It will select the columns and apply what? The aggregate function. It will group and then apply the aggregate function. Understood? The next, having sum of salary greater than 1500. That will be executed. And having I will be executing in the next class. Don't worry. Lastly, order by. Order by means sorting. Order by is very simple. Don't bother about that. But these are the 6 clauses which can be used in select query. Next class I will be going full deeper into this. Explain you very neatly and cleanly about this. Clear? So anyway, what was the query now? So this is one find out all the type of jobs. Find out all the jobs whose total salary is in every department is what? Sorry, in the department number 20. Not every department. In department number 20, find out all the type of jobs whose salary is what? Greater than 1500. So in the department number 20, these are the type of jobs in department number 20, these are the type of jobs which are having salary greater than 1500. Understood now? Means when you total it, these are the type of jobs which will exceed 1500. Done? So execute all these aggregate functions. Next class will be covering more detail about all this. Understood? Once again, just let me check this out whether all the names are one. This is the first query, second query, third query, fourth, fifth, sixth, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 19, 20. Correct now all numbering? Around 29 queries are there? Okay, fine. Put it into the notepad. It's already there. It's already there actually. Just I modified now some content. Once again, I'll do one thing. Okay, I'll do one thing. I'll copy it here directly. Already one file was there. Done? With question numbers, I put. That's it. Earlier it was without question number. I just put it with question number. Okay, then one more topic we'll see today, a very small topic called as aliasing. Okay, write some notes for alias. We can use alias names for what? Columns and tables. Alias is used to make column names in the results more readable. Okay, alias is used generally when the column names are big and are not readable. Functions are used in, means this is the place where you use alias. This I already given an example. Alias is used when you are using a function in a select query. Okay, these two I will show you. Means how to use alias with table name and column name I will show you. Fine. These are the reasons. And alias is a temporary name and it does not make any changes to the table names or column names. Because from next querying what we do, we need the alias name. So just I'll show you. These queries are also there ready made. alias.txt. Just open it. This is a very simple one. See this. In order to give alias while using a function, just now I taught you. What is it? Select sum of salary as what? I just now showed you how to execute this. So what will it display? Total salary of clerks. Correct now? Fine. Similarly you can use what? Yeah, with another aggregate function I will say what? Average salary. Like this you can use some names. Then next, see we'll use alias with column name. E name I am using as what? What will display? If I don't use alias, what will display? E name only. See this, without alias I'll show you. Without alias, what is the name it displays? The default name of the column in the table. The default name of the table, what is the name of the column in the table? ename, that only it will display. But sometimes I don't want to display that name. So that time you can give your own name. How will I give? See this, we are aliasing what now? Columns. So what is the name it is displaying? See there, employee underscore name, salary. Earlier it was displaying only sal. Okay. Now when you give an alias name like this, don't think it will be changing in the database. This is only given alias name while displaying, that's it. When you display now, okay. So it will give a meaningful name, that's it. Okay. Similarly say, select ename as employee name, sal as salary from employee where job is equal to clerk. So means it is where job is equal to clerk, it is giving all the names and salary of all the people whose job is clerk. Fine. You can give an alias name to what? Tables also. So how will you give? See this. From employee E. Give the name there. Because that's the, in from clause only use table name, no? Where do you use the table name? In from clause. When you are writing select, no? You are giving the table name in what? From clause. So I am giving it, give the name here. What is the name I gave? E. Any name you want to give. Understood? I gave the name called as E. Now see, E dot E name. I can use like that. Like Java, we work ma. B dot W, B dot same now. Okay, E dot E name, E dot sal. But remember, this should be a valid column name. When you say E dot sal, it should be a valid column name. Understood? Fine. This way also you can select. But again, if you select like that, what is the name it will display? Default name it will display. So here I showed you how to alias what? Table name. I show you the combination of what? Alias with table name and column name. See, here I can alias what? Table name. Now see here, E dot E name as what? Employee name. I am giving alias name for table also, column also. This is very simple. Just see this. Why it is used in the next class, you will start understanding more clearly. Understood? Same way this one also last, where job is equal to clerk. Means if you use alias name, it will display like, if you don't use, it will display like this. If you use it, means here only alias name for what? Table. So go through all these queries. Yeah? Any questions you are having for the day? We are going to see more of this. And that time you will understand very clearly everything. Clear? Yeah, fine. And small change in it. Okay, that's it.